The story starts in a tranquil rural part of Australia on Christmas Day. Inside an old, dimly lit house, water is pouring out of a bathtub. The camera slowly moves down a hallway, showing water flooding the floor. We see an elderly woman, Edna, standing silently, naked, and in a state of confusion. The scene is tense and unsettling, implying something is terribly wrong. Without warning, the screen fades to black. A year passes, and we shift to Kay and her daughter Sam, who live in the city. They are driving to Edna's home in the countryside after learning that Edna, Kay's elderly mother and Sam's grandmother, has been missing for several days. Neighbors and friends have not seen her, and Kay last spoke to her mother weeks ago. Feeling guilty and worried, Kay takes Sam with her to check on Edna. Upon arriving, they find the house in chaos, dust everywhere, clutter scattered about, and strange black mold covering the walls, corners, and even around the windows. There is rotten fruit on the table, and numerous notes are stuck all over the place. Some are mundane reminders like take your pills and turn off the alarm, but others are more disturbing, such as don't follow it and keep out. These notes, the condition of the house, and the pervasive mold suggest that Edna may be suffering from dementia, a severe condition affecting memory and behavior. Kay files a missing person report with the local authorities, explaining that Edna has lived alone for a while. Search teams start scouring the nearby woods near the property, while Sam stays behind in the house trying to make sense of her grandmother's disappearance. Later, Sam hears odd noises coming from the storeroom. She checks it out but finds nothing. That evening, Sam goes outside for a smoke and runs into Jamie, the son of a neighbor and her childhood friend. He seems frightened to approach the house and mentions that his father no longer allows him to visit, the reason for which becomes clear later. Inside the house, Kay and Sam hear strange thumping sounds coming from the walls, the same walls where the black mold continues to spread. Kay dismisses it but shares a memory of when Edna had told her on the phone that someone had been sneaking into the house, which is why she kept changing the locks. Kay suspects that her mother was simply paranoid and might have been confusing reality with imagination. That night, Kay experiences a disturbing dream. She sees an elderly, decaying man in a small, rotting cabin. His body turns completely black as he dies alone and forgotten. When Kay wakes up, she's shocked to find Edna calmly making tea in the kitchen, as though nothing unusual happened. Sam joins her, equally confused, and they ask Edna where she's been. Edna says she doesn't remember anything, and her demeanor feels strange, polite but distant, as if something is wrong beneath the surface. Though physically fine, Edna's mental state appears unstable. A doctor is called to examine her. While Edna appears healthy, the doctor notices a dark patch spreading across her chest. When asked about it, Kay pretends she doesn't know anything. The doctor warns her not to leave Edna alone, as she may no longer be capable of caring for herself. Kay, feeling overwhelmed by her life in the city, starts considering placing Edna in a nursing home. That evening, Sam finds an old sketchbook filled with drawings. One sketch shows a small wooden cabin that deeply unsettles Kay. When Sam asks about it, Kay explains quietly that it was her great-grandfather's house, the same man from her nightmare. He too suffered from dementia and was abandoned by his family, dying alone. Parts of that old house, such as the wooden windows and panels, were actually reused in Edna's current home. The mold and decay appear to run deeper than just physical damage, reflecting a more profound emotional decay. Later that night, Edna gives Sam a ring. A simple but significant gesture, yet something about Edna's expression feels off, as if she is not fully there. That night, Kay wakes up to find Edna mumbling to herself in the living room. Her behavior becomes more erratic, and she insists that someone is hiding under her bed. Kay checks, finds nothing, and tries to calm Edna, but in a sudden outburst, Edna throws a book at her head, an action that feels both desperate and aggressive. Kay grows frustrated, suspecting that her mother is losing control. The following day, she visits a high-end nursing home in Melbourne. The facility appears flawless, with friendly staff, clean rooms, and seemingly ideal care. However, Kay struggles with the decision, feeling that placing her mother there would be a betrayal. On her drive home, Kay breaks down in tears, torn between a sense of responsibility and overwhelming guilt. At the house, things momentarily calm. Edna and Sam spend time together, listening to music and even dancing in the living room. For a fleeting moment, it seems like Edna is returning to her old self, loving, warm, and joyful. But when Sam innocently mentions that Kay plans to send Edna to a care facility, everything shifts. Edna's mood darkens, her face hardens, and without a word, she tries to take back the ring she had given Sam the night before. This unsettling moment reveals the dangerous unpredictability of dementia. That night, Sam sees Edna standing by the storeroom door. When she asks what she's doing, Edna insists that the things sneaking into her home must be hiding there. She speaks in a shaky yet serious tone, whispering strange things and expressing fear of being watched. It becomes clear now, Edna understands Kay's plan to send her away. She feels betrayed, unsafe in her own home, and terrified of losing control, not just of the house but of her very identity. Later, Kay experiences another unsettling dream. She sees Edna trapped inside the same decaying cabin from before. The windows are covered in the same black mold that now spreads across Edna's body. The dream is symbolic, with the mold representing decay, memory loss, and generational trauma. It feels as though the darkness inside the house is tied to the very bloodline. The following morning, Sam speaks with Jaime's father, the neighbor, and uncovers a disturbing truth. Months ago, Edna and Jaime were playing hide-and-seek. Jaime, who has Down syndrome, hid inside the storeroom. Edna forgot about the game and accidentally locked him in. He cried out for hours, but Edna never responded. Since then, Jaime's father has forbidden him from going near the house. Sam is horrified and apologizes, finally realizing the true danger of Edna's condition, not just emotionally but physically. Meanwhile, Edna walks outside holding the family photo album. Kay follows quietly, only to witness something deeply unsettling. Edna begins chewing and eating some of the photographs while softly whispering to them as though trying to cling to fading memories. She then starts burying the rest of the album in the dirt. Kay, horrified, rushes forward to stop her, but Edna becomes angry, insisting, "This is the only way to save the memories, otherwise I'll lose everything." In that moment, Kay understands the severity of her mother's condition. It's no longer just dementia, it's as if Edna's very sense of self is slipping away. Overcome with emotion, Kay breaks down in tears, promising Edna that she won't leave her again and will take care of her no matter what. Later that evening, Sam grows suspicious of the storeroom, the same place where she had heard strange noises earlier. Determined to uncover the truth, she opens the door and discovers a narrow hallway, dimly lit and covered in black mold and faded sticky notes, mirroring the ones around the house. As she walks deeper inside, the hallway begins to shift. The walls close in, and doors appear where there were none before. The space transforms into a labyrinth, a living, breathing maze. When Sam turns around, she realizes something terrifying. The door she entered through is no longer there. She is trapped. Inside the main house, things take a disturbing turn. Edna is in the bathtub, and the black mold on her chest has spread aggressively across her body. In a state of panic and pain, she grabs a knife and starts cutting into her chest, trying to remove the infection. Water from the overflowing tub begins spilling onto the floor. Hearing the sound of water, Kay rushes to the bathroom. She knocks and calls out, but when there's no response, she breaks down the door to find Edna, covered in spreading black mold, holding the knife as she desperately attempts to carve the infection out of her own skin. Shocked, Kay asks, "What happened to your chest?" Before they can speak further, the house suddenly loses power, plunging everything into darkness and silence. Kay lights a candle and begins searching the house. She sees Edna running down the hallway and disappearing into the storeroom, which is the same twisted maze where Sam is already lost. Kay follows her inside. As she enters, something strange happens. Edna's skin starts falling off, and her body begins to change color. She transforms into a monstrous figure, resembling the image Kay saw in her nightmare about her great-grandfather. Edna becomes violent, attacking Kay with unnatural strength. As if possessed, terrified, Kay flees, and as she runs, she reunites with Sam. Together they find a wooden wall and try to break through with a steel rod, but Edna is close behind, attacking again. When they return to the hallway, Kay strikes Edna, causing her to fall. By this point, most of Edna's skin has peeled off, and it's clear that her transformation is not just physical, it represents a deeper mental and emotional collapse. Edna is slowly dying from the inside. Kay and Sam attempt to leave the house, but as Kay gazes out the front window, the memory of her dream resurfaces. Her great-grandfather was left to die alone. Realizing that she might be about to repeat the same mistake with her mother, Kay feels guilty. She returns to the room, gently picks up Edna's deteriorating body, and places her on the bed. All of Edna's skin has now fallen away, leaving her as a horrifying creature. In a poignant moment, Kay kisses her mother, accepting the terrifying reality of her condition and the inevitable decline of aging. Kay then lies down next to Edna. A short while later, Sam joins them, lying beside her grandmother and mother. As Sam lays there, she notices a black spot on Kay's back, hinting that the dementia may be passed down. Perhaps one day, Sam will face her mother in the same condition. The film ends on this unsettling note. Relic isn't merely a horror film. It explores the gradual disappearance of someone you love, not physically, but mentally. Edna isn't battling a ghost. She's battling dementia, a slow and painful condition that strips away memories, identity, and control. The black mold in the house symbolizes the quiet, unchecked spread of the illness. The maze reflects the disorientation and confusion in her mind, where even those closest to her feel lost. Edna's monstrous transformation serves not to frighten, but to illustrate how painful it can be when someone you love turns into someone you no longer recognize. The film's true focus is not just on Edna, but also on her daughter Kay, who is overwhelmed with fear, guilt, and uncertainty. She, like many of us, wants to help but doesn't know how. In the end, instead of running away, Kay chooses to stay. She accepts her mother even in her most terrifying form. This is the heart of Relic. Don't abandon those who are fading. Stay with them, love them, even when it's painful. Because one day, it might be us.